It's time for the Unscripted Push with DeVonnda, Shantel, and Ebony S. Bailey. Are you ready to live your best unscripted life? We're ready to jump right into the conversation.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Unscripted Push. Can you believe that this is the last episode and we have finished our first season, Ebony?
I actually can't. It's been fun.
It
Look,
has
y'all,
been
I'm branded.
fun.
I'm
And
branded.
I'm not branded, but I do got on. Ebony made me a Google me shirt that I have on. So you guys can't see it, but after this call, just Google me.
Just Google me. Got it.
Yes. So I'm just like, I cannot believe it. Like season 1 is about to be up. And then
we talked about a lot of stuff. Like we talked about a lot of heavy topics, but like I don't think everything was so heavy, but there was some light stuff. But you guys also got to know us. You got to learn new things about each of us. You know, I actually laugh, y'all.
She's funny. I'm not the comedian of the friendship, as you guys can see.
I don't think I'm a comedian. I think
no, you're funny.
My sarcasm has a way of yeah. But you won't see me up on no trying to be on no stand-up. Like
no, me neither. And I'm pretty funny, but I'm not doing no stand-up. That I won't do.
But we did 10 episodes. This is the 10th. We last episode we were able to answer some questions, and that was a really good episode. If you did not see that one, oh my gosh, it was like a hybrid of our season. We were able to answer stuff that maybe you wanted to focus a little bit more on, but you got to hear different perspectives, and that was cool. Like y'all made me talk about marriage a little bit, and I mean y'all came out the gate swinging the first two.
I was like, wait a minute now, y'all are asking some crazy questions in a good way, but oh my god,
like didn't it ease me into it? You just was like
came through swinging like
right. Right. But it was a good episode, and we have some left. Okay, we have a few. Oh my gosh, we did it again. Last time we couldn't do the song together because we kept thinking one person was
lagging. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. But y'all should know it by now. Like you should know the push.
Unscripted Push podcast. You got to push.
Yeah. The way, she about to go. Look, I knew it was coming. And you have to push. Listen, when I tell you I pushed through today.
Yes. I'm telling you, you have to push. Today has been a day. So much going on, so much to do. Not enough time. Like this has been a crazy day, and we are up here on our podcast because talking to you guys and talking to each other makes everything trivial. So
right, putting stuff in perspective. Like I just like reflecting over even how we've had to learn to lean on each other a little bit differently because of what we're doing. I'm used to doing everything by myself.
Yeah.
And so I said it on one of these episodes. I prayed, God, send me a me. Like that was one of the things that I had asked him to send me. And I was like, what does that look like? And I wasn't expecting it to be DeVonnda. And I wasn't expecting her to come in the way that she did. And I didn't even think that it would be us doing something together. I just was wanting someone to show up for me outside of my family in a certain way without me. I'm trying to preface this the right way, because it's not that I don't have people that could. But sometimes I don't even have to say it. This girl right here will randomly send me I was doing this and I saw this and I was thinking this, and Ebony, you such and such. And it could be something that I was literally dealing with in the moment, or
Mhm.
something that I had prayed about in the morning, or something that had been weighing on me that I hadn't put the words to say, because I learned last week in my therapy session that I still got trust issues. So that I never actually said, but I said, wow, God cared enough to share it with somebody. And then they opened up their mouth to let me know. It let me know that God heard me,
Mhm.
or he's seeing what I'm carrying in certain ways.
Mhm.
So he sent me somebody to help me carry and build this side of me, because I always consider myself a solopreneur when
Mhm.
it came down to building. Now, like, I had my sister, hands down. I said, Chris, I want to do this. She'd be like, all right, cool.
How we doing? What we
Okay,
doing?
my husband, okay, you need graphics, you need a website. He got it, but this person be like, we not doing it that way. No, nope. You can, okay, all right, cool. Her and Crystal together, they will tag team me on the back end. And then I'm like, who are you talking to? And Crystal's like, you need your friend, your real friends know they got to talk to you like this because you don't listen.
You're gonna do what you want to do, but it's been interesting for me as well, because you guys know that I do have a group of girlfriends, so I do have my close knit of friends. But in therapy, I had learned that even though I have developed these relationships and these friendships, I don't allow people to do things for me and to really show up for me like I want to. And it kind of stemmed for like rejection and things in my childhood when it comes to father and different things, and him not showing up. So I've realized it transitioned into my adult life. So I do things so much for myself because I don't want to be disappointed. And I didn't register that. So like for my birthday, every year I plan my own birthday. I plan my own birthday. Whoever
That's
shows
what I'm
up,
saying.
shows up. Like, because I do not want to be disappointed that people don't celebrate me the way that I celebrate me. So over the years, every year, I plan my birthdays. So one of my friends told me one year, she was like, you don't give us the opportunity to do anything for you because we have gotten so used to you planning something. And so this year, and it was hard, I told myself, I was like, I'm not planning anything for my birthday. I'm just going to go with the flow. My best friend will come in town. I'm just going to do what it is that I do or whatever. I got so much going on. I'm not thinking about my birthday or whatever. And my birthday is so important to me. If you know me, you know that my birthday is so important. And I think I talked about it in the episode. I don't know if I talked about this in the episode, but the reason why my birthday is so important because it could have been a time that I haven't been here because of suicidal things that happened in my past. And so since I'm here, I told myself that every birthday that I'm here will be celebrated and it'll be so important. So this year, this girl right here went and called all my girlfriends, my close knit girlfriends, to plan some of my favorite things, you guys. Everybody knows I love orange and pink. These girls I pulled up. First of all, let me tell you about my best friend. I have to tell y'all this story. Let me tell you about my best friend. She is so horrible because she just like,
Don't be talking, don't be coming for
yeah,
Tay.
because I came for Satisse the last one, so she was mad about that. So I'm gonna come for my friends in their face. That's how I do. So I'm like, you wearing sandals? Why I can't wear sandals? She was like, that's not you. Put on your heels. I'm like, girl, what does it matter? We just going to brunch. Then she's talking about I have to stop by this place to pick up your birthday gift before we go to brunch. I'm like, why do you have to stop by pulling part to pick up a birthday gift? I'm just being so annoying as usual. She was so frustrated with me. And we get there, and she was like, you want to get out and walk with me? And my bougie self told me, not in these heels. I'm not walking. You made me put on heels. You think I'm going to walk in the park? Y'all, we went in park, and where it was parked, it was tight, so we had to come back around. My slow self, we come back around, y'all. the girls are standing there in my favorite colors, and I didn't register who they were. I was like, oh, because you know I'm a girl's girl. So I'm like, oh, them girls look pretty. And they got on my favorite color. Y'all, I rolled up in this all of my girlfriends and close-knit friends ready to just have a photo shoot, which y'all know I love the camera, wearing my favorite colors. I mean, had pictures of us over the years, and I'm just about to break on the inside. Like, I was just so overwhelmed because nobody has ever in my life did anything for me like that. Never. And I didn't know that was something that I needed. And I think that's what, not I think, I know that's what I love about Ebony. She makes you see stuff that you don't think you need. And that is a gift because everybody doesn't have that. So for her to actually do something like that for me, I mean, I was just towed up the entire day because I'm just like,
she was mean to us at first.
I was mean to them. You know, I cussed. I was like, y'all,
her mama said,
you can't pop me. I'm on the computer. But it was just amazing. And it's amazing. I said all that to say how God strategically put people in your life. And if you're the type of person and you're like, I don't want any new friends, or I don't want, you know, this person in my life, you don't know what God is trying to bless you with. Because he bless you with people that can show up for you and show you what you are missing and what you actually need in your life. And I was so against. I was like, I got enough friends. I don't want any more girlfriends. But when our relationship started developing, it was like God was like, you need her in this season. And now it's starting to reveal, and over the time that our friendship, we needed each other and what we needed each other for. So I just wanted to encourage somebody, if you're that type of person, you like, I don't want any new friends. Do not be like that, because you don't know who can come into your life and make it better and change it for the better.
And if you are one that also is a believer, so like you're like, God enlarge my territory, God, you know, grant me such and such and such. And sometimes literally it's the environment that you're in, right? So you can't take certain seeds and plant it in certain places. Like certain things they grow in Florida because they have the soil for that. You know, some stuff you can't take some things to the desert and think that it's gonna grow. No, the cactus can do that there, but you can't get you ain't gonna get no palm tree and some Florida oranges in Texas, not unless that thing is being sent in from the grocery store.
Right.
But you have to understand that if God could have enlarged your territory, if you were ready for him to enlarge your territory, and the people that were around you were who was there to help cultivate that thing, he would have done it then if you were ready for that. And so when you're praying for expansion and you're praying for new, sometimes you don't realize that new comes with you letting stuff go. And sometimes it's stuff that you don't want to let go. And sometimes it's things that God has to pry out of your hands, because he's done that with me. This has been one of the most challenging years for me in relationships. And it's not even just one, it's been all. And God has been like pruning my life. Like it's been a pruning. And I'm like, Lord, you asking me to do more stuff, but you're taking away my safety. Like I'm comfortable with this space. And he's like, I can't do that because now I realize that I was so dependent on some of the things that he took away from me.
Wow.
I didn't realize I was that dependent. I didn't realize that I needed that to define some of who I was. I was using some of the things that I did that was, busy work, but I was using that as, I didn't realize that was identifying, okay, Ebony, you are this because you do that. No, you are not this because you do that. You were that before that.
Yeah.
And now it's making me understand more of who I am. And that I don't have to be pulled on to know, and I understand even what friendship looks like on the other end, how I am a friend to someone else. I understand what that looks like now. And I understand too, like it was some areas I needed to fix. Like I heavy into therapy now. And I'm so grateful that I did, because it started to help me be more bold with what I needed, because I didn't do that before. I didn't worry about what I needed. I let everybody else's needs go first, and I was depleted. I was depleted. It was so bad that I was doing, like, I have a well, she was a client that turned into a friend, Lawrence. And it was one time we were working on a project, and she was like, okay, friend, we got something else we need to do, such and such. And then all of a sudden, I didn't hear from her. She got real quiet, and it was a couple of weeks. And I finally I called her. I was like, I feel like you put me on punishment. Like, what happened? And she said, because I know you. If I would have told you that we needed to work on this and you didn't even have the capacity, you would have done it anyway, because that's what you do. You serve. She said, so I had to help you by getting quiet and giving you space, because you needed space. She said, and I realized that. She said, so I don't know if other people in your life realize when you need what you need. She said, but I already know that you would have done it anyway. So I decided to help you. And I said, I know you did not put me on punishment, but those are the type of people that I'm noticing, that people are aware of me and they're picking me up in the spirit, if that makes sense. Where before, I think some needed to see me and see the depletion. Others can feel because of the connection. So yeah, if you asking God for new, let him give you new, and new looks like new. Now, sometimes he will restore old things, but when he is enlarging your territory, that means it's more space, it's more open, and you have to go. You can't stay in the same spot. You just can't.
Yeah, it's tough, guys, because like I tell people, it's tough embracing the new. It's so tough embracing the new. I'm telling you, in all aspects of your life. But you just never know what it is that you actually need and the type of people that you actually need. And not saying everybody, you have to have a relationship like me and Ebony. Some relationships are going to be business. Some relationships are just going to help you get to the next level, or seasonal and stuff like that. I know for a fact me and Ebony's friendship is a lifetime friendship, and different things like that, because of the simple fact of the actions and the fruit and the things that God told me for the long run. But what if I wouldn't have acted on our relationship, and look at the things that I would have missed out on, because I'm like, I don't want no new friends. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the podcast.
You're talking about me.
But look at the things, the conversations, or even how, she can feel things with me, or how I open up, or, just pushing some of the agendas and ideas and different things that I have, and, just giving me insight, just those little things that you build in relationships and stuff like that. We have developed, even though this is my newest friendship, even though we tell you guys all the time, we've been in each other's life a long time, but I'm talking about building that actual relationship. I don't know who that's for. There might be somebody that has been in your life that you have ignored, and they're supposed to be in your life in a different capacity. Reevaluate your circle and who's around you. I don't know why I felt that, but in that moment, reevaluate who's around you, because it may be somebody you've been overlooking that you need to build that relationship with. But this has been eye-opening. This has shown consistency. This Unscripted has really been unscripted. Things happen. You have to pivot. Even last week, you see that we haven't been in person. The last 2 episodes is unscripted. Things happen. Life happens. Ebony, wife and mother. Like I, have business stuff I'm doing. Like we have things that are going on. We have to learn how to actually pivot. So this podcast has really been unscripted, but it has been therapeutic for the both of us, I'm sure, because it gives us time to talk through some processes in our conversations that we actually have with each other, and to get you guys insight as well. So I also think it's great.
Yeah, you have you have a way of I don't know. I've been like I posted something the other day. I was like, I've been laughing a lot lately, and I realized I that's crazy. I was like, I didn't realize that I hadn't been
Mm.
until I started. Like I was going through my phone and I was looking for something because I was looking for something to post for the conference, and I was like, oh, cool. Let me look. And I started scrolling, and I'm looking through my phone, and I'm seeing, like, man, all of the things that have been going on. Like I haven't been stuck in the house. I haven't just been secluded to myself, because for a long time I only did stuff pretty much with my sister. And
Mhm.
now I'm like, oh wow, I have people that I don't just talk to on the phone, like we do
Good
things.
stuff. Yeah.
Um and we laugh, and I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm looking at, oh, Ebony, you're building community.
Mm.
And the other part of it is I never built community outside of church.
Mm.
Everything I built was connected to whatever ministry I was a part of. And if you've watched this season, I talked about the transition that God had me move from my last ministry. And so now, like, I'm in that go season of my life to a land I will show you. The Lord ain't showed me yet. So I'm just still going. So but I'm okay.
Mhm.
That's the part that's weird.
Mhm.
That part is weird to me, but I have found that even in the frustrating times, because I'm not saying everything's been perfect,
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that I don't feel weird sometimes when it comes down to, oh my gosh, I'm not connected to a ministry.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I don't have a
Cover.
spiritual covering that I walk into every week and that I serve in. It's so different, you know. Not saying I don't miss that sometimes, but I do. I am happy. I feel freedom,
Mm.
and freedom, it's joy there. And I'm like, I embrace that part, that I can laugh and that I can be honest when I'm not okay. Yesterday I text my sister and I text DeVonnda, and I let them know, I was like, today I feel overwhelmed.
Mhm.
I couldn't even say what it was. It was like a feeling of overwhelming that just went over me. And it wasn't until today that I said, Ebony, your conference is coming up. Last year, when your conference was coming up, there were times that I would get so heavy and I didn't understand what it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen in that room? And it was when that took place that I started to feel it. And I said, wow, at least now you're not carrying it and you're verbalizing it. Because before, people would have to say, Ebony, I feel you. Are you okay?
Mhm.
No, I could say, I'm not okay today.
Yeah.
And I've learned that it's okay to not be okay. And we hear
Mhm.
that, but I've
Mhm.
actually been verbalizing that
Mhm.
now, and not staying stuck and just complaining. Okay, now I'm not okay. Okay, what am I doing to be okay? And so it's always some plan after that. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you need? And
Mhm.
now I'm able to identify, I need this to feel this way. Before, I was upset, and it stopped there.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's a plug. You guys need to get your ticket for the She Woke Up conference, because when I tell you last year was life changing, I expected it to be amazing, but what happened in that room, and you need to stay to the end, because I promise you that something is going to happen in that atmosphere that is going to change your life. I am telling you, if you have not gotten your ticket, I promise you, if you can't get your ticket, if you need help getting your ticket, please reach out to me. I will help you get your ticket, but you have to be in the actual room. I'm telling you. And I don't back up. If you know me, I do not promote or I do not back up anything I don't believe in. But when I tell you I believe in all things Ebony, I believe in all things the brand of She Woke Up, because it has. And what y'all don't understand, and I told Ebony this, is that I've been with She Woke Up since, I think, since it first started.
The
When I
first
tell
season,
you, when Ebony first had this vision, I was waking up then. Like, she don't even understand the movement and what she has, which She Woke Up, you all. When I tell you the what is going to be to the nations and to the world, I don't even think she understands what she really has under her belt with this brand and why she is tested and why the devil fights her so much because of, and I am not going to cry, because of what is behind the vision and how many women in this world, because I have such a heart for women, it's a lot of women that need to wake up and they need what she has in her voice. And that's why she goes through so much in her mind and in her spirit and the self-doubt that she has, because the devil wants to take away from the brand and what she is actually building that is going to caterpillar the entire nation. I'm telling you, it's going to run rampant. You guys need to get on it now before it get to a point where you won't even be able to get in the room. You're going to have to go and overflow. So I'm just telling you now, get with this brand. Don't wait like some people do until they feel like, oh, this is really what it is. I'm going to make sure I go. No, get in the room now, because I can say I've been with the brand from the beginning. So I don't know what y'all got going on. I better have a seat somewhere in the front with my name on it.
Oh, you need what? Them old churches where they had a little plaque up under the,
somebody put my plaque in the front, because I need to make sure I have my seat at She Woke Up conference. I'm telling you guys, it's just been an amazing experience, and it's just think about the words she woke up. Some of us are asleep, and we have talked about that paralysis and in the past and what happens with that, and how, you know, us as women, a lot of the things that we actually go through, we don't really wake up, we stay asleep because we feel like we're conformed into this specific area. Like, I only can be a wife, I only can be a mother, I only, you know, can go to work and come home. There's nothing else that I can do outside of that. And that's what this brand is really teaching us, that you have to wake up. I ain't trying to preach, but I'm just saying I'm really behind the actual brand that She Woke Up. You guys have your ticket. I'm telling you, just get in the room, guys. It's going to be something is going to break. I said that last year, and I'm telling you, it just erupted in that room. And I know it's going to be explosive this year as well. So
yeah. And we are doing we're doing a live recording. Like, we will be Friday night. We're doing a live recording. Like, that's cool. Like, we're just, even the milestones that we have done in this first season, we've done a lot together. I was like, God, when I asked you to send me a meet, I didn't realize we were getting ready to start doing stuff at the same time. Like, we were getting ready, like this year, we recorded our the second or the third episode in Paris?
Third, I think.
Like, who does that?
Yeah. It was crazy.
We did it after. Look, what we did it after we spoke. Like, we both spoke at a.
It's just like, you know, when God is in something. Like, this ain't something we just did. Oh, Ebony, let's just do something, a little something. No, we did this because we know that this is a life-changing movement. We know that God is in this. We know that we have things to say from different perspectives and both sides, to be able to encourage people, to know that we are not perfect, to know we deal with everyday life, and so that you guys can relate to us. And, you know, this has just been a phenomenal experience. I never saw myself here. When Ebony, I was like, oh, I should do a podcast. And that's it. I'm the type of person, I'm a visionary. Like, I vision stuff, but I'm not an executor. Ebony is, and I think that's why our partnership works so good, is like, she's a visionary. She both of them. But I'm more of a visionary. I envision it, and I'm like, I wait to the last minute to execute it. That's me, and it's horrible. I was like, I know when my husband comes, he's gonna have to be the executor. Like, babe, we got to get this done. It got to get out, because if
I'll let him know,
it's gonna be a week before.
I'm be like, brother, listen, just
the organization behind this. I'm telling you guys, like, the organization behind this is all Ebony. Because if it was left to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I do got to do that.
But we work well together. And I mean, the thing about it is, I've heard people say that when you do something you love, it doesn't feel like work. And none of this felt like work.
Nothing.
Um, and so I know that even in there will be times that, it's a bit, you're gonna have challenges. You will.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that you can join together with somebody and the days that they can say, I got you, I could carry this a little bit more. And so we thank y'all even for tuning in. And then if you miss it, you
Mhm.
catch up on, you go to YouTube, you go and you watch, you respond in the comments, or you text us, and let us know how you feel about what you saw. And so I know that this will go further. I don't think this is something that is just, oh, this is something cute to do. I think
Mhm.
this is the launching pad to something else. I don't know what that something else is, but I do believe that this is a launching pad to something else.
Mhm.
Um, and that, yeah, we were supposed to be answering questions.
I
Lord,
know, I know. Let's get to the question.
let's get at least,
I'm like,
let's get at least two.
y'all just have no idea where the unscripted push is going, like what we're talking about, what's gonna happen, where it's gonna be located, where is, just how you're gonna hear more about it. It's just so much that's getting ready to happen with this brand that I'm just so excited about. You don't know where unscripted me and Ebony is gonna appear, you're just not gonna know
Pop out.
what
What Kendrick Lamar said, we're just going to pop out and
you
show
don't
them.
know about round tables, or you don't know what we got in store, but it's gonna be amazing. The unscripted brand, I feel like it's gonna go far. um my brother Travis getting on me about my brand, so it's a lot of things that's gonna happen for us, but this is not going away because this is a God thing. um so don't worry, we going into season 2. Just season 1 ended. We gonna prepare for you guys, and we're gonna go into season 2. But we can keep going. Let's answer some questions, Ebony, because I know I can keep going. I just love this our podcast. So
I wonder if we answer some of these questions.
we
Let's see.
might have already talked about it. Oh, DeVonnda, what's one thing you wish Christians would just stop doing?
One.
Okay. One.
She was about to end she was about to do the whole podcast.
I feel like Christians should stop being so judgmental without knowing the full picture or the full story. I feel like there's always a reason behind what others do or what happened in others' life. And I feel like I saw something, I forgot what I was watching, and it says the church used to be a hospital for patients. Now everybody wants to be a doctor. And I was like, wow. Everybody wants the title, everybody wants the doctor, everybody wants to fix it, but there are no patients. So I feel like what happened to us helping people, what happened to us guiding people to be better, what happened to us helping people in their time of need instead of judging them for what they wear or what they look like or why her skirt's so short. Not understanding that people, once they start really getting into the word and getting into God and learning things, you get convicted by some things. Like there are things that I've been in church all my life, and there are things that I'm just starting really to get convicted by. You know what I'm saying? So we can't judge people, and we have to be mindful of their story and some of the things that they have been through. And it's like when people act out and when people do something, my first thing is not to judge. My first thing is, why? I wonder why they did that. I wonder what happened in their childhood to make them think like that, or what has happened to make them act out like that or say that. That's my thought pattern. And I feel like more Christians should think like that and be more helpful than judgmental. It's a difference with having a conversation and I say, Ebony, this is how I feel about this situation, versus you did such and such and such and such. That's not my place
Right.
in that moment. So that's what I would say. I know they asked me, but what would you?
Well, I agree with that part because you never know what stage of development they're in. Maybe they needed to go through it the way they're going through it. I was watching a podcast today with Lecrae and Michael Todd, and a lot of Christians got some stuff to say about both. But
Mm-hmm.
Michael Todd talked about, I didn't know some of the things about his background. And he was like, not him, Lecrae asked him about how he felt. People got stuff to say. And he was like, but they don't know me. He said, they don't know me. And one of the things Lecrae mentioned, he was just like, well, what I will say is all of the people that do know you have the same thing to say about you outside of what people see on Instagram and they see on TikTok. And he said, yeah, he said, I've never heard anybody think about it this way. He said, but that's free advertisement. He was like, Instagram, TikTok, that's free advertisement. He said years ago, we had to pay thousands. We had to pay a lot of money to get this advertisement out there. And he was like, yeah, I put short stuff out there. Yeah, it's stuff that's, maybe palette. Because Lecrae was like, well, what level? He was basically asking like, what level of information you're putting out that people are seeing like these clips of you. And I'm like, wow, okay. So he is understanding that, yeah, I hear all of the noise. We talked about the noise several times of what other people say, but they don't know me. And I have to be like, that's the part that you have to be settled in. Yeah. So the one thing for me with what I think Christians should stop doing is avoiding. They need to stop avoiding the issue. They avoid things and they use, I'll pray about it as a scapegoat. I'm gonna give it to God. That don't mean you don't address what you're dealing with.
That's true.
That don't mean you don't go to therapy. That doesn't mean you don't go to the doctor and get checked out. I think that's a scapegoat. That's something I wish they was like, oh yeah, the Lord's got it. Yes, he does, but he also gave us these things in the earth to use so that we can have a good resource and we can live a healthy life. But yeah.
Okay, so this one, when people come and go in your life, how do you let someone back in that you let go of? Ooh. So I think for me, because I have been in this situation before, and how can I say it? So me and one of my close girlfriends now, we had a situation back in college. It was like a misunderstanding, and it was a lot. I can't even really remember the whole situation. And it was Crystal. We talk about it, but me and Crystal, we had a situation in college, and I can't remember the whole situation because we've been out of college forever. And we both let go of the actual friendship. And at that point, I never thought we would be friends again. I didn't think that was a relationship that we were going to build back. And something happened, something switched, something changed, and we had a deep, deep conversation. And we realized that friendship was worth saving. And we came back together, and we realized that we both needed each other in each other's life, especially at that time. And we have been friends close ever since that actual situation. But I would say that it has to be a situation that is worth it. And it has to be a situation where both of you feel like this is worth saving this relationship. Because we both were young, we both were immature. I was immature. A lot of the things that I did back then was just crazy. Coming from a private school to college and then just
private Christian
school, cutting the monkey in college, didn't know what to do, just going crazy, so I was in my development stages. I wasn't as mature, as I am now. So sometimes you do have to separate to be able to come back together to create something better. Now we're closer than ever. That's my program manager. I would trust her with any of my business. I know that girl has my back. I have hers. That's my partner where we go everywhere together. If I say, Crystal, let's ride, she down. If I say, Crystal, I'm about to bust somebody out, I'm on my way, because you is not about to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like some relationships are worth it. And then I had another relationship where I didn't feel like it was worth it to savage, and I'm probably saying that word wrong. I make up words and put words together. But I had another friendship. I just didn't feel like that was worth us actually mending. I feel like you have to assess the situation, see how impactful that was to your life. And if you feel like that the change in that person and that person is different and you guys can rebuild your actual relationship together, then I think it's worth it. But when you have a person that hasn't grown and they're still the same, and you're going to go back to the same things because that person hasn't matured, they hasn't grown, they haven't apologized. And I just feel like it's going to be the same things and the reason why you let go of the actual person. So I feel like if they have grown, if they have matured, if you see the actions and the changes in that person, then you can actually work on the actual relationship.
Yeah.
So
I do. Okay. I think you answered that well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like, I ain't there yet. I'm just playing.
No, I'm looking at this next question. No, I've only had that happen with one person.
Oh, okay.
I've only had one person and we didn't fall out. I don't know I honestly don't know what happened. We just all just stopped talking. My friend Deidre in Texas. Mm-hmm. We used to be together all the time. And then all of a sudden when she moved, it was a period we did not talk for, it was probably about 3 years or so. And then I ran into her. She was getting ready to move to Texas. I ran into her at the Food Line parking lot and we connected then. And then she moved and then I didn't talk to her for a while again. And all of a sudden, I don't even remember what happened. She called me one day and we talked it was since then, but it was never an issue. We didn't have an issue with each other. I just think life happened and everybody went their separate ways. But yeah, you would have never known that.
Like let go of and bring back, and you allowed them back.
I haven't had that. If people leave, they're gone.
Yeah.
I think the Lord knows my heart with that. Like if it's something that's a painful break or if it's something like that, I know he knows that because I have that loyalty thing. Like sometimes I'll put myself, maybe now in my growth stage, I could handle that a little differently. But prior to, I probably would have fell back into the very same situation.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a tough situation, but I would just say you have to really make sure that the reason why you let that person go, if it's worth bringing the relationship back, that they have changed. You have to look at their fruit. I always say that, look at their actions to make sure it's changed, because the reason why you let go of them is not going to change if they haven't.
Right.
So I would just say really analyze that situation and see if it's really worth bringing them back and a part of your life. Can tear you down and bring you back to a place that you have got out of. So that's what I would say with that.
I saw 20. I was like, what's that? Ebony, what is a silent struggle you think more people need to talk about?
That's a good one.
Silent struggle. I can only talk about me because I'm the one that is always silent when it comes down to stuff that I was dealing with. I found safe places to kind of talk through things. But for me, one of the things that we talked about this though. We've talked about this before. I'm trying to think if I could think of something different. I need to talk about, because we talked about mental health. Like I talked about that, like how I waited until the end of last year to finally say this is what I need. And so that was a that was like a combination of many things that totally overwhelmed me, to where my hair was falling out, to
Yeah.
where my blood pressure was high, my shoulders were always tense and tight, and headaches and all of that. And I was moody. I'm already a moody person. I need extra stuff to help me with that. So being honest with where you are and getting help, like not just saying I need it, but actually putting in the action to go find the help that you need. It doesn't matter if you just keep talking about, okay, yeah, I need a therapist, child. Yeah, I'm stressed out. Okay, I know I should talk to somebody, but you never do it. Actually putting in the work to find that person to speak to. So for me, I guess I would talk about just being honest with your mental health.
Mhm.
And that covers a lot of areas,
Yeah.
because all of those things feed into your mental health.
Yeah. I think for me, I would say high functional depression. Um, and I think a lot of Black women, we go through so much and we just keep going through life that that's not something that we really talk about. I know I have dealt with that, and I really didn't realize that I had dealt with that recently, because I think, everybody knows I'm in the transition of moving to Texas. So right now I'm back home with my mom for a while until I relocate. And I didn't realize that in my place, I thought it was my solitude. I thought it was like, oh, that's my comfort. And I'm just, by myself. I was really struggling with high functional depression. And the reason I can verify that is because I didn't want to clean up. Like, stuff would just be everywhere, which I'm a clean person. So that's just not like me when it comes to stuff being clean, clothes on the floor. Like, it's just like little things in my place. I would want to sleep all the time, or I'm always in the bed. And I'm like, these are little signs that I don't want to talk to people. I want to just be alone. I don't want nobody coming over. I didn't want to come over to my mama's house for dinner. I just want to be in solitude. I just want to eat my food at the house. I didn't want to go anywhere and just unless I had to. And I realized once I got to my mom's house, because I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, I'm laughing, I'm doing stuff. And I was like, I was looking at the differences, and I was like, I was really in a high functional depression, and I didn't even know it. I thought it was just solitude, and I like being by myself. And it's those little signs that you realize like something is wrong, or something is off, or something is going on, but we'll keep going through life. I was working. I didn't even want to go in the office. I have an office an office at work. I didn't even want to go in the office, on Wednesday. Like, I just really wanted to stay in the house. And I'm like, something is wrong with that. And now since I'm over here, it's like, oh yeah, let me clean, let me do this. Okay, I'm going for a walk. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna do. It's like I'm hyper, like I'm all over the place. And I realized that I was struggling. And I didn't even know it, because Black women are so used to keep going, and you gotta keep pushing, and you gotta keep doing it. You don't really take time for yourself. And I was like, Vaughn, it may be time to go back to therapy and outline some of those things. But I think that is one of the silent struggles that we do need to talk about more, is because a lot of Black women do struggle with depression, and we don't realize it, because we just think we just so used to going through life and every day and keep pushing and keep going.
Mhm. And it pivots with the anxiety, like couples with it, like you don't understand it, because you're like, oh my gosh, I get anxious in certain situations or certain areas, and what's going on, you don't realize that. And then you cover it up with your high function and stuff, because you just don't keep being busy, and people are not going to they're not going to think that you're anxious because of stuff that's going on the inside of you. It might be because, oh, okay, she's just trying to get this project done, she's just trying to make sure this is this, that we don't understand that part. And so for me, that's why I was saying mental health, because I was that for years and didn't know it. And when my therapist, my very first session, she said, they do ask you all them questions. And so over there writing, I'm like, what you saying, girl? And then they tell you what they think, what, from what your diagnosis. And that was one of the things that she said to me. And I was like, anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both.
And I just kept going.
Mm-hmm. we don't realize it because we're taught as Black women to, you got to keep going, you got to work. If you're a mother and wife, you still got to take care of your kids, you got to take care of your husband, you got to take. We as Black women in all aspects of our life, we always have to be independent and we always have to keep going. So we don't take the time to mentally, if we're exhausted, we're tired, like oh, like I was getting to the point where I was taking NyQuil just to go to sleep. Like just to ease my mind and really get a full night's rest because I was just that tired. No matter how much I laid down, I couldn't sleep because my mind was just running and things going, and I just couldn't sleep. And I was like, I have to get some sleep. I'm going to take some NyQuil. But that's what we do. We don't think that we need help. It's like, oh, this is normal. It's not normal. Get that therapist that you actually need. Talk to somebody. If you're not okay, like I used to be the person like Ebony, I'm okay now. I'll be like, no, this is what I'm going through, this is what's going on with me. But be comfortable sharing those deep things that you're going with. Now you don't have to share with everybody, but to somebody about it. Yep. Yeah. Let's see, what's one churchy phrase that needs to be retired? I'm trying to think a churchy phrase. I'm trying to think what is considered a churchy phrase. Like,
what them things that everybody can finish, like somebody start the first part and then everybody can finish the other part. Like, how are you blessed and highly favored?
Oh, girl, that irritates me. The deep people, the extra deep people. God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good.
I'll be like the extra deep, but no, I was thinking, how the preacher is preaching, and you get hyped because preacher do be good, but they get all loud. They be like, you don't say like Jesus, okay. Like, calm that down. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us time to hear the word. We all heard it too. But, I think those phrases, when they be interrupting the preacher, I'm like, dang, can he get the full sentence out before you holler?
Or turn to your neighbor. High five your neighbor.
Right. If I high five and turn to my neighbor one more time, I'm like, the pastor say it one time, but not all through the entire service. Now turn to your neighbor and say this. Turn to your neighbor and say that. I'm like, if I turn to this neighbor one more time, pastor. Yeah. That I don't know. I really don't know. Like churchy phrases. I should have Googled some and see. We've been in church. We probably know them. We've been in church all our life. What is a rule you secretly love breaking? A rule? I love breaking rules, but I'm just trying to think of a rule that's like a rule you secretly love breaking. A rule. I'm trying to think of a rule. Looking outside at my car, I still ain't got my tag.
Let's not talk about that, okay?
Please maybe watch it.
I don't feel like I secretly love doing that. I mean, it just ain't happened yet.
It just ain't happened yet. But secretly, I can't think of a secret. It's not like I steal, so you know how you go to Golden Corral at the buffet? I do be taking some of them Ziploc bags to get me an extra piece of chicken and a biscuit. What? I mean, a roll to take for my lunch the next day. Lord forgive me, but I paid for it technically.
What Ziploc bags?
My Ziploc bags from
you took it from home?
I take them from home. I put it in my pocketbook. And then when I go
to the plan to do this.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a rule I know I'm breaking. I guess that's the one.
Okay.
So I get the Ziploc bag from the house. I put it in my purse because I know that I'm going to take a piece of chicken and a roll. Because either I'm going to be hungry later or either I'm going to eat it for lunch the next day. So I think that's a rule I love breaking. I'm going to always take a Ziploc bag.
You always do that. Well, if you talk about it that way, when I go to the movies, I put snacks in my bag.
Oh yeah, I do. Oh, I do that.
Yeah, because ain't nobody got time to be paying. That little box of dollar candy is like $7.
My goddaughter too. I was like, all right, baby, you finna rack up in the dollar store. Let's go. I got the big pocketbook. Get what you want, and I'm finna put it in here for the actual movie. Because I am not paying all that.
When we were in high school, we would go to, remember South Square?
Uh-huh.
It was right next to the movie theater, and before they
tore it
down. Don't let it be me, Herman, and a couple of Herman will always wear a big bubble coat. And we would go right to that Kroger and get all the snacks. And Herman be sticking the snacks on the inside of his bubble coat.
And they don't be paying no attention
Herman. I'm sorry.
They don't be paying no attention to it. They do not. Them movie theater people don't care. They know what we be doing. They do not care. And then you know how you got the soda and you still in the movie theater. They go. We don't care. It's like people don't even take no turn looking at you because everybody knows. But I do love movie theater popcorn, so I probably would get that. But I have like the little snack stuff. Mm-hmm. That is funny. And let's see.
The last one.
Will you? Oh, wait a minute. Are we missing one, or we got one more?
What's one thing? People mustn't miss. What's one thing people misunderstand about purpose? It's work. It's work. I think people misconstrue, and I talk about this in my book I wrote, Harvest.
Woke up book.
Yes, it's gonna be as she woke up. But I talk about harvest and how people always be, if you churchy, people always talking about your harvest is coming, all of the things, but don't realize that the harvest is the busiest time. Like that's when you actually have had to have put in the work before you receive your harvest so that you have what you need and it's not wasted. Like imagine if you got this big field behind you and it's full of whatever, if you harvesting strawberries or cotton or whatever it is that you're harvesting, and you don't have bins to put it in. You knew all this time that you planted it. You knew when they were going to come up. You didn't hire no workers. You didn't hire no way to store. You don't have no way to store it once you harvest it. You just out here planting, and now all of that's going to go to waste because you didn't prepare for your harvest. So that's your purpose. Like your purpose is something that God takes you through seasons of preparation for it. And if you don't pay attention to those seasons of preparation, when he gives you, and it's the unveiling, and he gives you the platform, or he gives you the opportunity to write the book, or he actually puts you in front of the person that you have been like, oh my gosh, I really want to meet this person. Like this is, oh my God, what am I going to say? And you didn't prepare for the moment, and you get the moment, and now you've wasted it. You will waste your purpose. And God restores. Like, don't get me wrong, he will restore even the things that we've done wrong. If we do right and we repent and all that stuff, he will bring it full circle, and give you another opportunity. It may not be the exact one that he gave you the first time, but he'll give you but you have to prepare for your purpose. Like, don't just think you're going to sit around and wait for somebody to knock on the door and it's going to show up. And it's not that way.
You answer that question. That's good. Come on, preacher. Evangelist, minister, Ebony.
Ebony S. Bailey works.
And the last question, you guys, we have to get through all your questions is, will you have a guest on, and what would that look like?
For next season.
Yeah. I think we would have, we haven't really discussed what next season looks like, but I think that we have planned to have on certain people that I think could provide insight. And we will tell you guys what that actually looks like in season 2. That means you have to tune in to season 2 of the
We have our wrap-up meeting to talk about what this looks like in our planning. We're going to plan for it. This was our obedience. Like we were being obedient. You ever have to be obedient? Sometimes you have to be obedient with all the instructions. Yeah. And that's what we did. So God saw that we were responsible with what he told us to do. Huh?
I said, let me write that down.
Oh, the girl that's in my book too, girl. I
Oh,
told you I was working. I was
oh yeah,
working
I
hard
just
on that.
highlighted because I pre-ordered my book,
But yeah, so we were responsible, and so next season, like, we're gonna plan, because like I just said, with purpose you have to plan, you have to prepare, and so we're going to put in the work. We're gonna make sure that we have go before God, see what he wants us to say to you guys. Bring who you
Who
know,
you can bring?
because we're not gonna just bring any old person and sit them on the couch or have a face on the screen
Yeah,
wherever.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, this is good. I'm just so thankful for the partnership that me and Ebony have. I'm so thankful for this podcast and having the outlet to be able to talk, because a lot of people think I love to talk. Like, my speech, and I think I've talked about it in an episode, has been my biggest insecurity. And a lot of people be like, "Why you say such?" I don't know. It's just been my biggest insecurity. You know how some people are insecurity and it looks. I'm not insecurity. I'm not insecure with the way I look, but I am. That is one of my biggest insecurities, and it seems like God keep using me in that area to speak. So I feel like, Ebony doesn't even know the assignment too, to help me speak more, to help me get more comfortable being in front of the camera and people watching me, outside of my outfits and what I have on, and different things like that. So this has been amazing, and I'm so excited about season 2. I'm so excited about the guest. I'm so excited about the increase that's going to happen with our subscribers. And if you're watching, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, TikTok, and Instagram. So
Mhm.
we love you guys. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, so what are you swallowing? You was about to say.
I was gonna say our
You gonna
slogan.
try it? Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Come for the laughs, stay
Stay
for the
for the
laughs.
lessons. That's my part.
Oh, okay. Come for the laughs,
Stay for the lessons,
because
because
becoming your
becoming your
best
best
self
self
is
is
better
better
unscripted.
unscripted. It was better this time.
Better this time. It's got to be us doing it virtually because it sounds like a lag. But love you guys. See
Yeah.
y'all.
See you August. Be there for the live recording,
Yes.
and then we're gonna push in person. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Unscripted Push. Here's a question for you. How will you live unscripted this week? Catch you next time.